Hey everyone, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More. We're outside a rental property slash flip that is done. So it's always fun showing these videos. I'll get out of the street before I get run over by a car. This is an interesting property that has mixed use potential. So it's very noisy. That's the commercial side. This is the residential side, and you can also see in back it's got a 3-car garage as well. And so this is a little bit messy when we bought it. We fixed it up a lot. We'll have a before video kind of spliced in here and a full link to it down below as well. But it's on a very, very busy road, as you can see, which is good for the commercial, not so good for the residential, but for the right person, it might be a really, really cool property. So of course, check out investformore.com for much more information on our flips, rentals, being an agent, all that great stuff. Got a free book, lots of free articles on there, and we'll get inside where it's not quite as noisy. And it's really not that noisy in here either once we shut the door. And it's just surprising. Of course, we also love the likes and comments and welcome new subscribers as well. And if you have not subscribed, that'd be really cool if you did. So before, this was kind of a chopped up property. Your kitchen had kind of a big wall right here and a weird little area right here. You had a door that went into the commercial area over here, but your stairs were really, really steep, almost to the point where it wasn't safe, so we redid those and kind of brought them out farther and got rid of the door to the other space. So you can have completely separate living and workspace, which I think is nice. And if somebody rented this place who really, really wanted, a door that went into the commercial side, we could put that in for them if that was like a deal breaker and they had to have it. But me personally, I think it's kind of nice that your living space is completely separated from the workspace. As you can see, we did new flooring, new paint. The kitchen is completely new. I have some paint here still. We have the laundry room, which is right there. And I think we had a laundry room here before, but just the layout is much better now than it was previously. A lot of you might mention too, oh, you actually put a fridge in a property. Yes, we did, because it's going to be a rental. So for our rental properties, we put fridges in. For our flips, we almost never put fridges in. For the flips, we just don't need a fridge. Most people bring their own. It's customary here to bring your own when you buy a property. And if we're paying $1,500 for a fridge and doing 20 flips a year, that adds up to a lot of money over time that we can save by not doing it. This has 1 bedroom down and then 2 bedrooms upstairs we'll show you. And then it also, like I said, has a commercial area next door that's 1,800 some square feet and a basement underneath all of this too, which is not the worst basement in the world. It's a little creepy, but not super creepy. And then we paid $210,000 for this property. And we're in Gilcrest, Colorado, if you're wondering where we're at, just in case you want to rent it from us. So the bathroom is not super amazing, but it's clean, in decent shape. And then we have kind of a side yard over here, added a deck, did some exterior siding work, painted everything, new air conditioner. So we did spend quite a bit of money on this property. Now, like I said, we paid $210,000 for it. I have no idea what we paid total for the repairs, probably in the range of $50,000 to $60,000. We'd have another probably $15,000 to $20,000 in other costs, financing costs, carrying costs. Now, if we don't sell it, we won't have selling costs either, which would consist of paying a real estate agent, closing costs, title fees, things like that. But we'd still have, carrying costs, financing costs, those costs while we were getting it ready to rent. So we have owned it 6 or 7 months, I think, a little while. And we weren't in a huge hurry to do this one because if I have my plan to rent it and we hold it for more than a year, then we pay less taxes. We pay less capital gains taxes based on the long-term and short-term capital gains. So that's kind of been the idea and the plan. And I do plan to sell it, I think, once it's rented, just because, I don't know, we can sell stuff for so much money when it's rented. So, and it's not the end of the world too. If we have a property, And it's not the end of the world either. If we have a property that's rented and cash flowing and making money, to put a super high price on it as an investment property, put it on the market, and there's no rush to sell it at that point either, because it has a tenant, it's bringing in money. So if it's just in the market a little while, it's okay. Whereas with a flip that's vacant, we have a property sitting in the market for a long time, it just eats away at your profit every month and eats away at it pretty quickly. So you have to be careful with that. But I'm thinking we could rent this whole place for around $3,000 a month. And I'll do some math here before we go into the other commercial side and let you know what that makes this property worth. But it should be worth well over $400,000 if we get that kind of rent with it fixed up and a tenant in place. And it might even be worth that much now, just selling it vacant. But again, a lot smaller of a tax hit if we hold on to it, get it rented, and go that route. So we'll scoot over to the commercial side real quick here and show you the garage too, and then talk about the numbers as well. So here's some more of the backyard. I think is that an apple tree? I think so. It had some apples on it. These are grapes right here. The garage looks so much better, and it has power now to the garage as well. And we'll sneak in here real quick. Little side yard. Some cats that live around here that people keep feeding. Don't know who is doing that. It's not me, but oh, we need a key. Hold on. Okay, grab the key for the garage. And we ran power over here. It used to have it, then someone cut it for some reason, but I could not get the light to turn on. So I don't know if the bulbs are out or it's not set up right, but nothing fancy, just a 3-car garage. If we really wanted to, we could probably separate this and put a wall in here and have a 1-car garage for the house and a 2-car garage for the commercial space if we wanted to rent them separately. But like I said, we're gonna try and rent them all together to start with. And I kind of came up with that price based on, we think we could rent the residential side for $1,400 a month. We think we could rent the commercial side for $1,500 a month and the garage for a couple $100, maybe even more. And then we kind of give people a deal if they rented the whole thing together, just be a lot easier with one tenant, for $3,000 a month. And after doing the math, seems kind of crazy, but if we have $3,000 a month of rent coming in, and if I go off a gross cap rate, so gross cap rate means just total rents coming in, doesn't account for expenses or taxes or any of that stuff. And I know it's a lazy way to do it, but it's worked well for me lately. Being lazy, I don't know why, but then I don't have to calculate all the expenses and everything out. And I go through the MLS and look at properties that have sold, and they all sell for a very similar gross cap rate. So it kind of tells me other people are looking at that number too. But if we're making $3,000 a month and you multiply that by 12, you get $36,000 a year. You figure the value by dividing that number by the cap rate. So you take $36,000, divide it by either your gross or net cap rate. If you're just doing gross rent, you divide it by your gross cap rate. And I'm thinking if 0.08 or 8% would be a good gross cap rate for this property, that's $450,000. And we're actually seeing properties sell for 7% gross cap rate or less in bigger towns. Like I said, this is a little smaller town, so we're kind of being more conservative with our values. So it's probably at least a $450,000 property, if not a little more, depending on what we rent it for. So we'll see. And back here, we redid the bathroom. There was a bathroom there at one point. Kind of put in a little sink right there for a janitor sink type thing. This is commercial. Our basement's down there, which we will go down there and show you that here too. And then we have the commercial space in here. And I don't have the lights on. Last time we had those lights on and they flickered like crazy in the video, but they don't flicker in real life. So I think it's my camera doing that, but maybe I'll turn them on and see if they do it again. It's kind of weird. But this space right here, pretty much what it looked like when we bought it, except there's a door right there going to the other unit, like I said before. And there's a big wall separating this front section from the back, and you can kind of see where we patched up there, those pieces of wood we put in and stained them. They're close, not perfect, but pretty close. And it looks pretty decent. So If I stare at those lights in real life, they kind of flicker a tiny bit, but I don't notice it. It's not like you can see on the walls here. It really comes out in the camera. So I don't think they're too bad, but we could replace those with LED too once we get a commercial place in here. But we want to kind of leave it like a blank slate and then let the commercial tenant, whoever rents it, they want us to do some different tenant finishes, we can do that for them and fix some things up. But you don't want to do too much stuff on commercial real estate before you get it leased, because you don't want to end up redoing everything you just fixed up. So this is a space, it's 1,875 square feet from that back wall all the way here to the front. And we're not including the basement in that either. The basement's kind of like bonus square footage as well. So $1,500 a month rent would be about $10 a square foot lease rate. And if you want to know how that works, you simply take your square footage, which is 1,875, multiply it by 10, so you get 18,750, and then you divide that by 12, because that's your yearly rent number. You divide that by 12, you get your monthly rent number, which is around 1,500 and something. So all kinds of neat math in commercial real estate. Okay, we'll go downstairs. So I know we have lights down here, but I can't find the right light switch because they were on last time I was here. But this is a basement. Now I can use my phone light and have lots of weird, spooky shadows. But it's cleaned up. Really wasn't that bad before. There's some kind of weird stuff in here, like random hoses and quite a bit of electrical, because they used it to grow pot, we think, before. That was a big heating vent and stuff they had in here before for that. And so looks like they did it kind of in the right way. There wasn't a whole lot of, water damage or mold or stuff like that down here, which is good. Yeah, pretty big open space for storage. Lots of room down here. Nice concrete floor, pretty clean. So I think this is the commercial side under here. And then you'd have this side under the house over here. I don't know if it goes under the entire house or just part of it. Just part of it, because you can see the crawl space up there. But yeah, pretty good sized basement. Furnace, water heater new. So that's the property. I have to figure out where the light switch is down here at some point, because if we do, advertise it to lease, that'd be good to have. All right, so we'll get this up for lease. I'm, taking some pictures right now that we can post. We're doing in-house property management now, so I'm not doing that, but we have people at Blue Steel Real Estate who will post it, take calls, show it, all that great stuff, and hopefully we can get it leased here soon. It'll be really interesting to see how that works out, how much interest there is, because it's a very unique property in a unique location. And we'll definitely have an update for you guys if we get it leased, if we figure out something else, if we decide to sell it, any of that cool stuff. All right, thanks for watching. Love to hear what you guys think about this property. Love to see it when you like our videos too. Thank you for that. Love seeing new subscribers as well. So even if you watch our videos a lot and haven't subscribed, it makes us feel good to see new subscribers. So that's cool when you do that. And of course, we have much more information on investormore.com on our rentals, flips, being an agent, free articles, free books, all kinds of cool stuff there too. All right, that's the property. Another one finished. We'll see how renting it goes. This is a different strategy than we normally use. We usually just rent properties, or we just sell them. We don't rent them and then sell them. So we'll see how it works. All right, take care. We'll be back soon.